Hello and welcome back to another Sewcialites Quilt Along. We are doing the last block of this Sewcialites. It's block number 36, the Kindness block designed by Corey Yoder of Coriander Quilts. I am doing the 6-inch block. So I have cut out all the fabric pieces I require for the 6-inch block. In the background fabric, I've cut out 4 1.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles, 4 1.5 by 2.5 inch rectangles, and 10 1.5 inch squares. And in my printed fabric, I have cut out 2 1.5 inch squares and 16 1.5 inch squares. I just wanted to say thank you everyone for joining me today and welcome all of the new subscribers to my channel. Hi. I hope you enjoy yourself. We are just finishing up this Sewcialites Quilt Along. If you want to go back and check it out, there'll be a link at the end of the video that you can just click on, and you can start from block number 1 if you feel like joining me. And there is a link in the description below to Fat Quarter Shop's Sewcialite that you can download the PDF for and cut out all the fabrics in whatever size block you want to do. There's a 3-inch, a 6-inch, and a 9-inch block. For the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a 4-patch, which is the center unit of this block. You'll need D and C fabrics, 2 of each. So I have D and C right here, and you are going to do a 4-patch, which I've already sewn the first row. You just do it opposites, C and D, and then you'll sew these 2 together. Once they're together, then you will sew them again facing right sides together with a 1/4 inch seam. I'll sew these 2 together, and then you'll see I'll have a bottom row and a top row, and then I will put them right sides together, so 1/4 inch seam. So here you have the top row and the bottom row. I've sewn them together. I've ironed them seams open, and you want them opposite of each other. And then I'm just gonna put these right sides together where the seams intersect, and then I'm going to sew 1/4 inch seam and then iron it open, and I'll have my 4th patch. And there's the center unit of the block, the 4-patch. The next step you're going to do is you're going to take your E stack of fabrics, and you are going to draw a diagonal line from corner to corner and sew on that line. I will show you the next step. For the next one, you are going to need 4 flying geese units that look like this. And how you do this is you'll take fabric B with 2 pieces of fabric E, and you are going to put them right sides together just like this, and you're going to sew along that line. Cut a 1/4 inch seam when it's done, iron it open, and you should have a unit block like this. Then you're going to take your other fabric E with the line and put it in the other corner on the opposite side and sew along that line there. Cut a 1/4 inch seam, and then you're going to iron it open just like that, and you should get 4 flying geese units. Okay, the next step is taking your middle unit and your 4 flying geese, and you are going to sew 2 of the flying geese on each side of the 4-patch, right sides together just like this. So a 1/4 inch seam, try and get your needle on that point so you don't cut it off, and then you're going to iron these open. And then with these 2 you are going to take C, 2 for each one. So we'll need 4 C's, and these are my C's here on each side. And then you are going to then do the same thing as you did before. You're gonna put this right sides together, so 1/4 inch seam, iron it open, and the same on this side, 1/4 inch seam, iron it open, and you're gonna get 2 of these. When I come back, I'll have these done, and I will have sewn these 2 units, and make sure your points are inward like that. And here we go. I have my 2 flying geese units sewed to the fore patch, and then for these 2 flying geese, I've sewn on C on each end. And now I'm just gonna marry it up. I'm gonna pin it. Make sure it's pinned on both the upper and bottom of this center unit here. So 1/4 inch seam, and this will finish that part off, and then I'll show you what to do after that. As you can see here, I've sewn the top strip to the middle strip, and now I'm gonna sew the bottom to the middle. And there we go. There's the center unit for now. And next we are going to take fabrics A and E here, and we are going to make 2 or 4 of these. So you're just gonna do what you did with the flying geese with this one. Right sides together, sew along the drawn line you have already marked on the back on both sides. The first one is gonna look like this, and then when you are done that, you're gonna of course cut 1/4 inch seam, iron open, and then you're gonna sew the other side and the same thing, and I've ironed it open, and you're gonna need 4 of these. I've sewn all 4 of these units here, and these are the outer units, and 2 of them are gonna be the exact same as you did for the inner center. You're gonna have them pointing inward. As you can see, I've sewn this one already, and I'll need to sew this one right sides together, and then a 1/4 inch seam, and then iron it open. And then for these units, you're gonna take 2 of them, and your remaining 4 pieces of C, you are going to place them on each end and right sides together. So 1/4 inch seam, and you will get 2 units like this. So I'm going to finish sewing this and this, and then when this is done, and these you have 2 of these, you're then gonna put them right sides together and sew 1/4 inch seam. As you can see here, I've sewn the last 4 pieces and of C on each end of this piece here, and I've sewn the one already to the bottom, and the last step is to put these right sides together, match up your seams, pin them so you know that it won't move, and then sew 1/4 inch seam, iron it open, and that will be the end of number 36 kindness block. When I come back, you'll see the finished block, and we will talk about how to finish this quilt. And here is the final block of the Sewcialites Quilt Along, number 36, kindness block, designed by Corey Yoder. And mine is 6-inch block, and it should be roughly 6.5 by 6.5. I don't have the pages for the final cuts of material you need. Unfortunately, my printer ran out of ink, so I will have to post on my community tab next week what is required if you're following along with me. My apologies. I will also go over it next week. So thank you all for joining me, and welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome to everyone who's been following with me. I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful quilt day. Bye.